我が勝利を刻まん。
冥界へ。 and for revenge. Hey Google, set a timer for 20 minutes, please.
Sure, 20 minutes. And we're starting now.
Alright. Yes. Thanks.
On Switch, we'll receive upgraded versions that offer things like improved visuals, unique ways to play on Switch 2, and more. I'd like to show you the Nintendo Switch 2 edition of Super Mario
Plus Jamboree TV. So are these going to be paid re-releases, or updates, or like DLC upgrades?
Super Mario Party Jamboree is getting an upgrade on Nintendo Switch 2. The upgrade expands on the base game and adds new features. Mouse controls,
That's great.
audio recognition,
As someone who's played Hey You Pikachu, I'm not too fan about the whole voice controls thing.
a camera accessory, all of which can be accessed on Switch 2. First up is Mario Party mode with a single camera, up to 4 players.
Single camera in the same room.
You'll be
Cool.
able to see each other's faces as you play, so you can experience all the reactions and emotions in real time.
Bowser Live.
Next, it's Bowser Live, a mode where the live player team wins.
So,
You changed the business stable.
If ever there was a movie star that exemplified the old, you know what you're going to get with this one, then it has to be Jason Statham. Like, if I was to describe him as playing a gruff, rugged man of few words and an indeterminate accent that's half English, half American, with some kind of military/CIA/Black Ops background, who's trying to put his violent past behind him and live a simpler life, only to be
Mega Ordino is making its Pokemon Go debut during its own raid day, and there is something kind of interesting about this event, and by the end of this video you'll know everything the event has to offer and the best tips to help you make the most of it. So the event takes place on April 5th between 2 PM and 5 PM local time, but what exactly does this event have to offer? Well, for the bonuses, Mega Ordino will be appearing more frequently in Mega Raids, and these raids will be resetting every 30 minutes. Ordino caught from these raids will have a boosted 1 in 10 shiny rate, so probably one of the best chances to get this shiny. You will be able to receive up to 5 free raid passes from spinning gyms, and these will be additional to your daily free raid pass, and you can keep the one from the day before, so you can actually get a total of 7 free raid passes for this day. And if you can't get out and do these in person, the remote raid limit will be increased to 20 from April 4th at 5 PM PST until the 5th at 8 PM PST. But these aren't the only bonuses. From the start of the event, you will get access to a free timed research, and upon completing this, you will earn 10,000 Stardust, and you'll get an additional bonus that rewards you with 1,000 additional Stardust for completing a raid battle, for a total of 2,000 or 3,000 if you buy the event ticket. And Stardust in particular is in high supply during this event, but more on that later. And speaking of the event ticket, it is optional and it will cost $5. It'll get you 8 additional raid passes from spinning gyms, you'll have an increased chance of getting Rare Candy XL from raids, and you'll get 50% more XP and 2 times Stardust from raids. These effects will be active between 2 PM and 5 PM on the day. And like I said before, there is something interesting about this event that might actually be removed or altered before this event goes live. And if it does, I'll update you in the comments. So from the start of this event and continuing afterwards, Ordino will be able to learn the Charged Attack Moonblast. Now, according to the blog post, this won't be a legacy move, so it will be a move that is able to be learned by Ordino via a regular Charge TM, or it might possibly even come with the Ordino when you catch it. However, last time I did say the same thing for Mega Absol Raid Day, where initially Absol was getting access to Brutal Swing as a non-legacy move that would be available by regular the TM. But only hours after I uploaded my video about Mega Absol Raid Day, it was changed to make Brutal Swing now a legacy move, and it would require an elite charge TM to get on Absol. Therefore, it is quite possible this could happen with Ordino and Moonblast as well. And it gets even more interesting than that. And that is because generally for a Pokemon to have a move in Pokemon Go, it is a move that it has to be able to learn in the main series games, therefore keeping consistency between the main series games and Pokemon Go. But this is where there is a little bit of a problem with this event, and that is because Ordino doesn't actually learn Moonblast in the main series games, so it is quite likely that this move will be changed before or even after the event goes live. But like I said, if there are any changes, I'll let you know in the comments. Now with that said, is it actually worth buying the event ticket? Well, if you are planning on doing more than 7 raids on the day, then the extra 8 raid passes along with the bonuses will be worth it for you. However, it is worth noting that you may find better raid pass value in the bundles in the in-game shop, and the green premium battle passes do have more value than the orange ones that you get from this ticket, because you can use them in Go Battle League as well as raids, and they don't expire either, so that's something to bear in mind. Also, if you do decide to pick up this ticket, I do recommend picking it up from the web store, where you can get a Mega Ordino Raid Day ticket box, which includes the event ticket, and you get a bonus premium battle pass as well for the $5. So you're basically just getting an extra raid pass for no cost. So I will be getting into how good Mega Ordino is in Pokemon Go, but first, what are the best raid counters? So Mega Ordino does have a raid TP of 24,493, and 100% IVs for Ordino on 961 and 1201, boosted in partly cloudy weather. Mega Ordino is a normal and fairy type, and therefore it is weak to poison and steel type attacks. The best counters are Duskmane Necrozma, Shadow Metagross, Mega Beedrill, Metagross, Shadow Excadrill, Mega Gengar, Mega Rayquaza, Nihilego, and Mega Lucario. And for budget counters that are easier to obtain than to power, I would recommend Metagross, Excadrill, Roserade, Overqwil, Toxic Rogue, and Bisharp. This raid can be soloed with the best counters at high levels, but if you don't have that, then I would take another trainer and party up to use party power to make the raid easier. But how good is Mega Ordino, and is it actually worth raiding? Well, firstly, it is a new Mega for Pokemon Go, so you will want it for the Mega Pokedex entry, and not only that, but it is a new Mega type combination of Normal and Fairy. So for those events that feature both Normal and Fairy type Pokemon, this one will be a great one to Mega Evolve to get more Candy, Candy XL, and XP for all of those catching. However, in terms of meta relevance for raid attacking and Go Battle League, it doesn't really have much impact despite the addition of Moonblast, but it is useful in other ways. Ordino is part of a group of Pokemon called Stardust Boosted Pokemon. These Pokemon, instead of giving the standard 100 Stardust per catch, give quite a bit more, and in particular Ordino gives the most amount of Stardust per catch out of any Pokemon. Instead of the 100 Stardust, when you catch an Ordino, you'll get 2,100 Stardust per catch. And when this is paired with the timed research Stardust bonus and the event ticket, if you decide to buy that, you can get a lot of Stardust from these raids. However, it is worth noting that the catch rate of Ordino is very low, so I would recommend stocking up on some golden raspberries to make the catches a bit easier. Then you can catch them more quickly and do more raids in a given time to get more Stardust. This is especially helpful if you decide to use a Star Piece to increase those Stardust gains even more. And if you do decide to use Star Pieces for this event to get this extra Stardust, then you could also use Origin Dialga's Roar of Time Adventure effect that can pause the timer of your Star Piece to increase its duration for longer. Alternatively though, if Star Piece duration isn't much of a concern for you, you could use White Kyurem's Ice Burn Adventure effect to make it easier to land excellent throws and therefore increasing catch rate. Ice Burn does also boost catch rate by 50% as well as a bonus effect. Or if you're struggling with the Pokemon moving around too much, you could use Black Kyurem's Free Shock Adventure effect to stop that. This does also increase catch rate by 25%, so not quite as much as Ice Burn. And if you want more candy for Ordino from these raids, you can Mega Evolve any Pokemon, but if you want more Candy XL for Ordino, you would need to Mega Evolve a Normal or Fairy type, such as Pidgeot, Kangaskhan, Gardevoir, Mawile, Altaria, Lopunny, or Diancie. And to get more Candy, Candy XL, and XP per catch, Mega Evolving a Pokemon that is at the max Mega level would be ideal. You can also get guaranteed Candy XL per trade this season, so it is a good time to be trading and working on your Platinum Gentleman and Pilot levels. Worth noting though, this guaranteed XL candy you get from trades this season does seem to overwrite the one you get from regular trading, so you won't be able to get 2 XL candy per trade, you will still only be able to get 1. So it's probably worth holding on to those Pokemon that are caught far away and trading them next season when the seasonal bonus is something else. So generally, I would say this event is worth playing, especially if you get 5 free raid passes from spinning gyms. Remember though, you can't get all of these raid passes at once, you do need to use a raid pass and then go and spin a gym to receive another, etc. But not only are some of these raids going to be free, they will most likely be soloable for a lot of trainers, especially if you manage to get a Duskmane Necrozma when it was available, because this will be very strong for this raid. This event can also help you out with fueling adventure effects. This is because the Pokemon you need candy on to do these adventure effects are generally not in raids that often, so to get around this, you can use rare candy to turn into the candy of these Pokemon, and Mega Raids do reward rare candy. With the fact that you can do up to 7 of these for free and they are soloable for many, it's a good time to farm some rare candy for this, or for any other way you want to use rare candy, like on mythical Pokemon for example. Worth noting as well, it does require 200 Mega Energy to Mega Evolve Ordino for the first time, so it will take 1 or 2 raids to get this, depending on how quickly you beat the raid boss. Once you have Mega Evolved an Ordino for the first time though, you will be able to make any Ordino that you've got in your buddy and walk it to get more Mega Energy. You do get 5 energy per kilometers walk, but you will only receive the energy when you've walked enough to obtain the candy. Now with Mega Ordino getting access to Moonblast, how can you get the charge TMs that you need to get this move on Ordino if it doesn't come with it when you catch it? Well, there are a few ways you can get charge TMs. So firstly, and probably the best way, is getting them from raids. You can get them from 3-star raids and above, and I believe tier 3 and Mega Raids do get you at least 1 charge TM per raid. You can also get them from Go Battle League Win Awards and occasionally through completing special research tasks. So generally, raids and Go Battle League are the best ways to get them. It's also worth noting, if you do want some extra premium items for this event, you could attend a community ambassador meetup. To do this, you need to head to the Niantic Campfire app and check the map of your local area to see if there are any meetups that are specifically being held by a community ambassador. Then when you get to the meetup, you can check in via the Niantic Campfire app and you will receive a special research. These do differ depending on the type of event you're attending, and for a raid day in particular, you will be rewarded with 5,000 XP, 1,500 Stardust, 10 peanut berries, and a premium raid pass. And with that said, if you do want to know what else is going on in April in Pokemon Go, then I recommend checking out this video on the screen now, and I'll catch you in the next one.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Direct Comparison. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at the recently released remaster of the classic 3D platformer, Clock Legend of the Dobos, and see how it compares to the original game, released back in 1997. For this video, I've captured footage of the...
We got some new regional forms, some shiny boosts on certain Pokemon, and plenty of fun things going down during this Stunning Styles event. Let's talk about everything you need to know for this event. So this event is going to be Thursday, April 3rd, 10 a.m. to Monday, April 9th, 8 p.m. your local time. Pardon my voice, by the way, I'm feeling kind of sick. We'll have 2 times catch XP as the bonus, and an increased shiny odds on shiny West Sea and East Sea Shellos in their respective regions. I guess this 1 in 128 is usually what we get for a shiny boost. We'll also have the new debut of the Paldean Tauros, which is going to have 3 different breeds, and they're all going to be different types. First of all, the combat breed is going to be a pure fighting type Pokemon, and will be exclusive to the Iberian Peninsula. So countries like Spain, Portugal, Gibraltar, I don't think I said that right, Andorra, and small territories of France. We have the Blaze breed of Paldean Tauros, a fire and fighting type Pokemon exclusive to the Eastern Hemisphere, and the Aqua breed of Paldean Tauros, a water and fighting type exclusive to the Western Hemisphere. Exclusive Wasp during the event will be Castform, Sunny Castform, Rainy Castform, Snowy Castform, which will appear more frequently in snowy weather apparently, Plancloak Burmy, Sandcloak Burmy, and Trash Cloak Burmy. Also the 1-star raid bosses during the event for West Sea and East Sea Shellos in their respective regions, Esper Rockruff, which you can get a Dust Rockruff if you are lucky. 3-star raids will have the Tauroses in all 3 forms, Decidueye, which can be shiny during this event for some reason, Hisuian Decidueye, Mega Raids will have Mega Blaziken, and 5-star raids will have Tapu Lele with Nature's Madness. So yes, as you can see, the Tauruses are raid locked, but we'll talk about if they're any good and if this even matters. We'll have exclusive field research tasks during the event to get encounters with event-themed Pokemon, event time research during the event, which you need to complete.
People have no idea how crazy things are about to get. You know, first we started off hearing that Grand Theft Auto 6 could bring price hikes up to $100. Journalists, developers cheering it on. Yes, this is exactly what we need to have happen. Increase the prices. Now the shoe is on the other foot. Journalists and developers and analysts are saying that Grand Theft Auto 6 could very well be a threat to the entire industry. A game so successful and so disruptive that it could shut down entire studios and publishers. This is the most anticipated game of all time. And it could be the most successful game of all time, depending on how things go.
Sketchy so strong. On corner 6, Triple H. Sketchy so strong. On corner 6, Triple H. Stingers a 6-time WCW champion, the 2-time NWA World Heavyweight Champion, the franchise. He's never stepped foot inside WWE's arena before. And all the impact he's made, the first time he did. Oh, God, Stinger, he's man of his damn business, I'll tell you. This is incredible. That goes strong. Welcome to John Cena Appreciation Night. I know all of you probably have great admiration for John Cena. Yeah, actually you did. You proved that you have great admiration for him when you unwisely joined his team at Survivor Series. And we told you at the time there would be consequences to doing so. And quite frankly, the thing is, you won. There were going to be no consequences. You won. The authority was gone. And then John Cena threw that all away. And he threw you right back into the fire. So, let's get to those consequences. Let's start with Eric Rowan. Yeah. Eric Rowan really kind of came into this at the last second, though. He wasn't really a big player in this until the very end, where he was brought in on some misguided freedom thing. He entered into this match, dare I say it, sheepishly. Now, that being said, Eric, we do have to give you some sort of punishment. We can't let this go. So, what do you think, Steph? Maybe 30 days, no pay? 30-day suspension. Well, how's that sound? What do you think? Maybe 30 days, no pay?
30 days. I mean, what are we going to do for Ryback? The turncoat. You know, the power-hungry big guy. The one who would join Team Authority and then turned his back on us to, as you said earlier, unwisely join Team Cena. I mean, that repercussion should be, what, at least double?
Well, yeah, if you're going to give Rowan 30, you've got to give him at least 60 days.
At least 60, right?
Like, if you're going to go 60 days to Ryback, though, for turning, like, I mean, what are you going to do for Dolph Ziggler? I mean, Dolph Ziggler put the final nail in the coffin, well, with the help of the painted-up goose Sting. But you put the final nail in the coffin, so, I mean, if he's going to get 30 days, He's going to get 60 days. I mean, Dolph would get what? Got any thoughts?
90 days.
90 days? 90, that's a long time, 3 months, but that's a bold gesture on your part. Let me think here. 90 days. Hold on, we have to... Let's step it over there. We need to privately have a discussion for a second while we think about this.
Pardon us.
Sorry, be just 1 second while we think about this for a minute. Trust me, you'll all appreciate this. What's going on there, guys? Hold on, almost there. I think you're right, Steph.
I think it's just one thing. Well, we've come to our decision, and instead of suspending you, Dolph, Ryback, Rowan, you're all fired! And you can all thank and appreciate John Cena, the man standing behind you for losing your livelihoods in that very ring here tonight.
John, you successfully made 3 men lose their livelihoods, and you have reinstated the authority. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for John Cena!
We can see that in this last week during the contract stuff. Sting has a picture of Sting. That's Sting. It's a picture of Sting. But whatever this guy is going to sit around, it's all the sets. Just sit inside. Sting is the center.
history we're watching.
Past Monday on Raw, the vigilante Sting sticks it to the Authority. He allows John Cena to win the match in the main event, meaning Cena stays in the triple threat match for the WWE World Title Sunday at the Royal Rumble event, and Dolph Ziggler, Ryback, and Eric Rowan are coming back here.
Sting, right? But Sting. That's all I hear from everybody now. All of a sudden, Sting. Top of everybody's mind. Second time he sticks his nose in the business now, right? Is it just me, or can John Cena or anybody associated with him not win anything on their own? They always have to have somebody helping them. That's starting to be a problem for me. Sting is starting to be a problem for me. The second time now. First time, I gotta let it go, you know? It's him trying to make a name for himself, trying to put himself on the map like he's never been before, reinvigorate himself, and now this time's on me. And I don't make a lot of mistakes, Cole. I think you see that. I don't make them very often, and I damn sure don't make the same one twice. Sting wants to make a name for himself. By coming after me, he's going to make the biggest mistake he's ever made in his life. He wants to know why he was never here in the WWE. You're looking at the reason why. He's going to find out why. He's going to find out why the next time he sticks his nose in my business, it'll be the last thing he ever does.
I mean, I'm just trying to find out, where's the problem between you two? You sat in this chair a number of months.
Where's the problem? I don't know, Cole. You're a journalist, right? That's what you do. Is that your job? Journalist. War correspondent. Find out. Go interview him. Ask him. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe in an attempt to make himself relevant, he comes to me. He goes to the top of the pile to make himself relevant. Maybe that's what he's doing. I don't know. Maybe he's just a crazy person that paints his face up. I don't know. But I can guarantee you what I do know. He does it again, it'll be the last thing he ever does.
Okay? So enough on extinguishing. Let's move on to the three men you fired a couple of weeks ago. Ziggler, Ryback, and Rowan. From what I understand, they will be returning to SmackDown this Thursday night.
They are. Now, it's funny you say I fired them. I mean, I kind of did. Kind of John Cena fired them. They will be back Thursday. After all, a deal's a deal. And like John Cena, I keep my promises. I promised that if he won, they would be back. John Cena won. They will be back. They will get what they deserve.
Royal Rumble time. See it live on the WWE Network this coming Sunday. First time ever the Rumble will be on the WWE Network. My favorite event of the year. Let's talk about the champion, Brock Lesnar. Kept him under control a little bit on Monday night, but he absolutely exploded at the end of Raw. Is that good for business?
I'm nervous. Hey, Lesnar's a guy who doesn't fight for free. He's ready to fight. He's ready to attack Seth Rollins. He's ready to go at him. He's ready to know his back's going to do anything to get to him. So I'm nervous. I've never seen Brock like that before. Have you? Not like that. Somebody's got under his skin. I don't think it's John Cena. He's handled that. He said, it's tough. Tough. See the future coming at you. Light, tunnel. This time it's a train. You know? Tough to see that. You know why dinosaurs went extinct? And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying Brock Lesnar's a dinosaur. Dinosaurs were biggest. They were the biggest. They were the top of the food chain, the biggest carnivore on the planet. Nothing could touch them. went extinct. Because faster, smaller, quicker, smarter. And eventually, they went to the top of the food chain. And then they were gone. Evolution. That to perish.
So either Seth, Brock, or Cena will be defending the WWE World Heavyweight Championship in the main event at WrestleMania against the winner of the Royal Rumble match. I love it. It happens once a year. It's probably the greatest match in WWE history. What this was all about. You won it in 2002. How did it change your life?
It is, like Sean said, putting you on the path. Put you on the path of destiny, of knowing where you're going. The main event, WrestleMania. It doesn't get any bigger than that. You get the moment. You are guaranteed the moment, and then all you got to do is deliver. It sets you up in a way that you could never imagine. You think winning it will change your life, and it's more than you could ever think it will.
Shawn Michaels said that there wouldn't be a mystery WrestleMania if it wasn't for the Royal Rumble. So, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Final question as we get ready for the Rumble. Who's going to be the next Mr. WrestleMania? Who, in your mind, is going to win the Royal Rumble match on Sunday?
It's the funny thing about the Royal Rumble. 30 people, 30 men, all fighting for the same thing. Can't really tell. You never know, because the guy that you think is a favorite might go in one, he might be out. 10 people in. You never know. You never know until the very end. Every man for himself, and everybody can talk all the trash they want to talk, but until the moment it is over, it is still every man for himself. And I don't even want to guess, but out of those 30 men, who's going to win, because there's too many variables, but I can tell you this. I am seeing the future. It's bright. Bright.
I would like to talk about what happened on Raw this past Monday night.
Do that, then.
A lot of things went down. First and foremost, I want to talk to you a little bit about what I perceive as the authorities' manipulation of Roman Reigns, forcing Roman Reigns into a corner and forcing him really to put his opportunity in the main event at WrestleMania on the line, an opportunity he earned at the Royal Rumble match.
You say manipulation like it's a negative. Life's a manipulation, Cole. Everything is. When you think about it, kids do it every day to their parents. Parents do it to their kids. Try to get them to go to bed or eat their vegetables. I'm sure your wife does it to you to get you to do things you're supposed to do that you don't around the house. Life is a manipulation. The truth is, we wanted a fair winner at the Royal Rumble. Didn't believe we got it. The universe was upset about it. WWE Universe expressed their opinion. We reacted. Needed to get people where they needed to go. You want to call that manipulation? You want to call that me being good at my job? Call it whatever you want. At the end of the day, where we need to be.
Or was it because the authority didn't get the winner that they wanted out of the Royal Rumble match?
I would have been happy if Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble fairly. I would have been happy if anybody did. That's what I'm after. Fairness. I'm after what's best for business. And I didn't get that. But yeah, it was a tainted victory. And I've explained that before. Maybe you didn't understand it from last night, but when you look back at The Rock's involvement, Rock doesn't belong here. He's always welcome. Don't get me wrong. One of the biggest legends ever. Always welcome to WWE. But not to interject himself into the outcomes of things. Not to interject himself into WWE and the authorities' business. The outcome of that match was tainted by The Rock. That is not what's best for business. The WWE Universe expressed their displeasure with that at the end of the Royal Rumble. We had to rectify that situation
Because of The Rock's interference.
because of The Rock's interference. And I explained that, I hear questions about, well, Big Show and Kane, he was just this. Big Show and Kane were in the match. Big Show and Kane are WWE superstars under contract. They were in the Rumble. They're feel was unsportsmanlike conduct, not somebody like The Rock who doesn't belong here interjecting himself in that match.
I find it interesting, though, that that decision was based on The Rock's interference. And on the same night on Raw this past Monday, there were two instances of interference which really changed things. First, Seth Rollins getting involved and costing Roman Reigns a match against The Big Show. And then in the main event, Roman Reigns interfering, which allowed Daniel Bryan to pick up the victory over Seth Rollins, ensuring Bryan will now face Roman Reigns WWE Fastlane in a couple of weeks. Interference. But neither of those guys were punished.
When I'm speaking, do you listen? Like at all? Like Monday night when I was talking, tonight? You know, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, interfere. What are they? What are they?
WWE superstars.
Right. WWE superstars. Is The Rock a WWE superstar?
No, so
Is Sting a WWE superstar? No. Hence the problem. I don't have a problem with those guys interjecting themselves because they are a part of business. They are a part of the WWE. Sting, The Rock, they are not. That is my problem.
I don't mean to upset you.
You're not upsetting me. I just can't believe sometimes that you are an educated person.
You seem rather emotional, though. And as a man who I've known for a very long time, you've built your career on being steady, doing what's best for business, being calm, cool, and collected. However, it seems over the past couple of months that you're letting your emotions get involved in things. That maybe what happened on Monday night and that whole 3-hour Monday Night Raw that ended with probably not the result you wanted in the main event was a knee-jerk reaction from the authority.
It's not a knee-jerk reaction, Cole. It's doing what's best for business. The Rock is not the one. Interjected himself into the Royal Rumble, changing the outcome. Roman Reigns was the winner. WWE Universe didn't like that interference, and they didn't like that outcome. They're doing what is best for business. You want to go back in time and you want to talk about Sting and my reaction to that? That is my fault. It happened there. A non-WWE superstar entered and affected the outcome of the WWE.
But would you admit that you're getting emotional about what Sting has done here over the past couple of months?
Not getting emotional? How am I getting emotional?
You challenged the man to a face-to-face confrontation.
I challenged him to stand in the ring with me. Have you seen him? You have his address? You got his own address? You know where he lives? You've been hanging out in the rafters or something? You know where he hangs around? No, there's one place I know he shows up is the ring. So I challenged him to a face-to-face in the ring. I have promised to resolve our issues. You make it sound like I have threatened him with physicality. I've done no such thing. I've asked the man to show up at Fastlane, stand in the ring with me. We'll have a conversation, and I will resolve our problem. But the problem that I have with it at this point is we've not heard an answer from him. I've not heard a response. I don't know if he'll show up or not. So that is the question to me. Will Sting show up? Because I promise you, if he does, we will stand face to face, and I will put an end to this problem. Or he won't show up, which proves my point. He is the coward that I have always thought he was. Sting's choice. And look out. And all of it, life's work, almost all taken away because of one man. Sting. Sting, the face of WCW. WCW, the company I helped destroy. And now, 14 years later, Sting finally gathers up the guts to do something about it. Because for 14 years, he stayed away. Because for 14 years, he knew that if he came here, I would personally expose him. And now, for whatever reason, at Survivor Series 14 years later, Sting finally decides to take his shot. And when he takes his shot, does he do it like a man? No. He attacks like a coward. Well, Sting, I am a man. And I am calling you out at Fastlane to stand in this ring face to face with me. And I will look you dead in your eye, and I will explain to you why you were right to stay away for 14 years. And if you agree to never show your face here again, then I will let you leave Fastlane with your dignity intact. I'm a patient man. I am a patient man, but I have called Sting out like a man for 2 straight weeks with no answer. And my patience has run out. So Sting, I want an answer. And I want it now. I asked the man to show up Saturday. His name showed up. So me get the straight word on the street is now I'm afraid of Sting. I find that laughable. Takes a lot more than some mind games. A couple of parlor tricks to get under my skin. The fact is, at Fastlane, the unthinkable is going to happen. WCW is going to stand in the ring with the WWE. Sting, the icon, the franchise, is going to stand in this ring and do the unthinkable. He's going to go face to face, eye to eye with the game. With the cerebral assassin, not the CEO.
To trouble until it years. Long-time friend, much part of evolution with Triple H. Triple H, I'm most surprised to see the Nature Boy right now. The President has arrived. On it's President's Day, where Triple H had been friends for years and years. Look at the respect. Now, before you start cussing me out, okay? Like you and your wife do everybody else every week. I came out here because I respect you and I love you, okay? As a matter of fact, you can't come out of me. Ordered Orlando, you inducted me in the Hall of Fame here. You said, if that's right. If I remember correctly, you said it. I should have a wing of my own with my own name on it, right? And there was no arguing about who's the greatest of all time from your lips. So I come out here not to say anything but I love you and I respect you. Who wouldn't? Success. If you were here, and I'm assuming this is why you're here, to sing me the praises of Sting and tell me how great he is, which I have heard you do ad nauseum over the years, save your breath. I know how good he is. I'm not telling you your business. I'm just telling you that I love you. Don't take Sting lightly. And don't put yourself, as your father would say to me, don't put yourself in a position to fail. Yeah, he used to say that to me. All due respect, Rick, I don't need a history lesson from you on who Sting is. A student of the game, right? Remember, I know who he is. I know how good he is. I watched a young, bleached blonde punk kid take you 60 straight minutes the first time he stepped into the ring with you in the Clash of Champions. I watched him earn you respect. And then I watched that same kid, Sting, become the franchise of WCW. I watched him become the icon of WCW. He was and is, and don't get me started on this, but Sting was and is WCW. And when WCW bell rang, Sting was standing tall in that ring. I remember it. Standing tall while all the other rats were jumping ship. Sting was standing up, and he went down with the ship, and I respect that, and I admired that. But then he did the smart thing, and he disappeared. Because, mark my words, if Sting would have come here, I would have made it my personal mission to run him out of the WWE. You want to know why? You want to know why I would have run him out of here, Rick? Well, I would have run him out of here because Sting's legacy was built on Ric Flair's reputation. And that always pissed me off. So I would have kicked Sting's ass on principle alone.
Well, see? You're not acting like the cerebral assassin right now.
No. Because here's the thing. No. Let me finish.
Because here's the thing, that was then, and that would have been on principle. And now, all these years later, now, Sting comes back here. He wants to make it personal with me. He wants to make this personal. He wants to try to take away what I have, the WWE. Because while Sting is WCW, mark my words, I am the WWE.
Take a deep breath. It's me, Nate. That's what I'm saying. He's already getting to you. You know, I walk through airports every day, and people say, Rick, who's the greatest wrestler alive today? And I say, Triple H, when he's wrestling. Last year in New Orleans, 1,000 people said, could Daniel Bryan beat Triple H? I said, hell no. I said, Triple H will beat him in 5 minutes. Or 30 minutes later, guess what? You know why? Because in our business, the saying is, a wrestler's worst enemy is time off. You ain't wrestling full time. You're an executive now. You're running a company. I want you to be who you are, the best, the game. I want you to step in and run the company. I don't want Sting to sneak up on you. That's all.
And I respect that, Rick. And I know you've been in the ring with Sting a million times.
I have.
I know you have. And I mean this with all sincerity. I say this to everybody that asks. I am no Ric Flair. Nobody is. But here's the truth. When it comes to kicking Sting's ass, you are no Triple H.
Oh, well. Then, do me a favor. When I tune in Fastlane Sunday night, don't let me see you sit on your ass again, okay? Like you were last Monday. Fair enough?
Tell me something. You look me in my eye, Rick. You know this is the truth. There is nothing outside of my wife and my kids more important to me than the WWE. If you think Sting is going to ruin that for me, I don't care who it is. I don't care if it's you. If someone stands between me and this company, I am kicking their ass. That's Fastlane. I promise you. Whether he goes on his own or whether I beat it out of him, Sting will never show his face here again. Last week on Raw, I was confronted by one of the greatest legends of all time. Two-time Hall of Famer, one of my best friends, the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. Tempers flared, things got heated. I pushed Rick, and I regret that. I apologize to Rick, but I don't apologize for what I said that night. I stand by what I said. So I stand in this ring tonight, not as the COO of the WWE. I stand in this ring as the heartbeat of the WWE. I stand in a WWE ring, in a WWE arena. I stand here as the game. I stand here as the King of Kings and Sting. I am waiting for you. I'm going to assume you and I are past the point of pleasantry, so let's get down to it. Put all our cards on the table. I know why you're here. I know what you want. I'm not even mad about it. Quite honestly, I have to say I feel sorry for you. You backed the wrong horse. All those years ago, you were a loyal soldier to WCW. Hell, Steve was WCW. And when the time came, you stood with your head held high and you went down with the ship. I admire that. I respect that. But the reality is, it was guys like me that made that ship go down in the first place. The truth is, my legacy is putting your legacy out of business. I get it. That eats away at you, which is why you did what you did in Survivor Series. You're trying to put me and my wife out of the WWE. Because you know that without my wife and I, without our family, the WWE dies. But you failed. I guess at the end of the day, failure is what you do. But what if I said I could give you the power back? What if I said to you, I can give you your legacy back? All you have to do is, once again, stand with your head held high, walk away. We put all this behind us, and you and I do business together. I always do what's best for business. I am magnanimous in that way. And I can assure you that if you put this behind us and you walk away, your legacy goes on. I ensure that your legacy lives forever, Sting, through the WWE Network, through DVDs, through merchandise, through action figures, through all of it. In 2015, Sting will be bigger than he has ever been before. Hell, I'll even go so far as down the line, that puts you in the Hall of Fame. What do you say? Sounds pretty good, right?
Yeah.
We can do it the other way. Or you can sit there with that look on your face and continue to disrespect me. And then I can beat what's left of your legacy out of you right here and now. And when they carry you from this ring tonight, Sting, you will be erased from history. No legacy, no nothing. Gone like you never even existed. The choice is yours. But I'm not going to wait long. You can see by the look in your eye, you made up your mind. You know, it's funny, because Rick had always said to me that you were... Triple H, trying to trick Jason of Sting, and Sting with legs of his own. Oh, and now Triple H. Now the cerebral assassin. Triple H doing what I guarantee he set out to do tonight. And beat the hell out of Sting. Triple H and Sting in a WWE ring. This is something I thought I would never see. Not going at it. I gave you a chance. Triple H gave him Sting a chance. He didn't want to take it. You can just tell Triple H was at his boiling point. I think. Triple H said Sting he was going to punish him. Triple H with an exclamation point. All the backbone that he just made. Triple H warned Sting, if you don't walk away from all this, I'm going to beat it out of him and I'll punish you. Equalizer. It's not being kept up by Sting. The challenge is clear, guys. Yeah, Triple H literally backed into the corner by Sting. Will it happen 5 weeks from tonight in WrestleMania? John, will the unthinkable happen? Sting and Triple H in the same ring.
John, I hope it happens. They thought of it happening for years as a dream. For wrestling fans all over the world, it could happen at WrestleMania. Sting versus the Game. Venice Beach, California. Destined for superstardom.
I was watching WCW from Sting in 1989. There was a reason I had a blinded flight. It just caught on. And the charisma.
You are going to love this just as much as I am.
Certain people come along in different eras that has it. And he was one of them. That All-American boy that she wanted to get behind. Snoop Golden boy.
Sting is ready. He is ready for any and all comers.
The match that he had with Ric Flair in the first Clash of the Champions, that's the moment he became a star.
Let's do what I just did to the very best.
Sting loves the WCW brand through and through.
There were one of the guys with that combination of charisma and power and athleticism.
He was a man.
Quite simply, he was a man.
This is where the big boys play, huh? Measuring stick just changed around here. It's taking over.
NWO was a group of thugs and some of the biggest stars in the world. NWO was exciting everyone.
Everybody in the world has followed NWO. Somebody's got to stop it. They're sticking up in the rafters, not saying.
You kind of dark on everybody, keep them mysterious, you know.
Yeah, baseball bat, and it's just long trench coat, and his face painted black and white. And now all of a sudden, he's this Avenger.
He was that one guy always against the NWO.
And his charisma was so huge. He didn't need to say anything. He could say more with a look than people could say in a 10-minute interview.
A guy like Sting was like your last hope. Like him had here all we got left.
I think that just built to such a frenzy that whenever he did anything, people were out of their minds.
When you thought about WCW, you thought about Sting first and hugely important to their success.
Stay true, stay that hero, you know, that whole period, which was really hard to do. That was the one thing that all die-hard WCW fans had. Wasn't going to make them.
And he stayed there until they shut the door.
And now, 14 years later, for whatever reason, Sting finally decides to take his shot.
It's the figure. It's the character.
He does things. The one guy you never thought used to you. Why?
The challenge is clear. Sting and Triple H at WrestleMania. I don't know. Listen,
Good.
I gotta admit, I heard what you said a few minutes ago, and I heard you say that you always felt like Sting wanted to come here, and basically you implied that he didn't come here maybe because I wouldn't allow it, and I politicked him out of the role here. I know you don't truly believe that, so I'm just curious, why do you think Sting never came here? But I'm just saying. Look, I know Sting. I went down the road with Sting many, many times. Look, I know you, man.
I know where you came from. I know where you are now. I know you ain't afraid to use your power and influence. Step on some toes and keep on walking. Look, man, if I was in your position, I probably would have blocked Sting from coming to the WWE too.
So you believe that? You believe these conspiracy theories of this whole thing? Like, I don't know, for some reason, look, I thought you were better than that. You're like these little kids banging around on the internet, thinking they know the ins and the outs of this industry, the politics of it. And the truth is, they don't know a damn thing.
Again, like I say, I'm just saying, I know Sting. Sting's a stand-up dude. Loyalty, we ain't even got to talk about loyalty when we talking about Sting. We talking about WCW's finest. We talking about the last man standing in WCW. We ain't got to question that. But the thing is this, Hunter, and I'm just saying, best for business or not, you can't control Sting. Nobody can. Ric Flair couldn't control Sting. Hulk Hogan couldn't control Sting. The NWO could not control Sting. Hell, Eric Bischoff could not control Sting. Look, man, I'm just saying. The thing is this, Hunter. Sting is here now in the WWE. And you got to deal with it at WrestleMania. I'm just saying.
I get it. You're just saying, you said that a couple of times. But what I'm just saying is, if no one can control Sting, then why couldn't he come here? I don't get it. I mean, maybe what I think is maybe he didn't want to come here. Maybe that's what it is. But hey, that's your opinion. That's why we've all got our opinions. And the thing is, control is a funny thing, man. When you have it, it's a power. You have control over people, and you can do anything. And when you don't have control, man, it can be frustrating. When you don't have any control over your fate, that's a scary thing. It really is. Anyway, hey, thanks, man. I just wanted your opinion. Thanks for coming. Oh, and by the way, Book, you're fired. Stop. Hey. Just messing with you, man. I ain't firing you. You're great at what you do. And I want you on that commentary team. You're a very valuable part of this team. That was just an example of what control is. And who has the control in this situation. Control. Ultimate control. I have been handed an opportunity on a silver platter. I have been handed an opportunity to end a legacy, to end an icon,
to end the last vestige that is and was WCW. And I will do what I do better than anyone on the face of God's green earth. I will take advantage of that opportunity, and I will put an end to Sting. I have been handed an opportunity to end, and I will take advantage of that opportunity, and I will put an end to Sting.
I've been called a vigilante, but I'm more than that. I'm the face of retribution. I am the silencer of injustice. I am Sting. And I've been watching you. I know firsthand how power and ego like yours can corrupt and destroy lives. When WCW perished, it fell under the watch of a broken authority. I tried to save WCW. I failed. I know pain. The pain of loss. And after WrestleMania, Triple H, you will too. You talk about control, but you cannot control vengeance. You will be the one to collapse beneath your thirst for control and realize that I control your destiny. My loyalty never wavered. Despite your lies, your loyalty is dimensionless. You need to be taken down. You've been waiting 14 years to do it.
Randy, it took you 3 weeks of scheming and conniving and cajoling to make every single member of the authority look like fools. But it's only taken me 3 hours to make a fool out of you. Oh no. Oh yes.
Randy's screwed. Wow. Talking about a team.
To the authority playing Orton tonight, and Randy Orton realizing that he's in trouble, and Randy Orton going to make sure he has an equalizer. Orton is going to stand and fight. He's going nowhere. And it may stop a couple of them, but it's not going to stop all of them. Yeah, but guys, remember what Randy Orton said last week on SmackDown? He knows that there's hell to pay. He knew it was going to happen. Randy Orton said he was ready for it. And he's going to pay. Here it comes. And Randy Orton sacrificed himself tonight to get a match with Rollins at WrestleMania. That's what this is all about. And he's assuming he can make it to WrestleMania. Welcome to hell, Randy.
Wow.
This, what goes around, comes around, Randy. The archetype intent. Master plan. It went around last week. It's coming around this week. Kane and Big Show, J&J Security, and Rodman surrounding the ring. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon looking on, and Randy Orton realizes the trouble he's in. How does the Viper get out of this one? Maybe he doesn't. This will be slow and methodical, just like last week. The Authority is going to make Orton suffer.
Randy said it's worth taking a beat. Just get his hands on that one-man Seth Rollins.
Orton made Seth suffer last week. Get ready for a little tournament fair play, Randy. Orton standing his ground, equalizer in hand. Here's the Authority get a Stay. Guys, this is gonna be great. You're suffering. You're not, Jamie. And this is 13 years in the making, guys. This is long, well overdue. 6-time WCW champion Sting here. Sting is stuck into the game. Here we go. And Sting side by side. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? Who thought they'd see this? He's ready. He's ready for the aces moment in his career. Rocking. Listen to this place. Trouble moment with WrestleMania loaded in 2 weeks. I can't wait. Imagine this place, imagine. Randy Orton and Rollins Sting in the game. The stakes couldn't be higher. We're Sting rolling to WrestleMania. So this is what it feels like to kick off Monday Night Raw. Woo! I've been known as the WCW soldier, and over the last 14 years I've watched Triple H climb the ladder right here with WWE through manipulation, backstabbing, undermining, whatever he had to do to get to where he is now at the very top. I guess he thinks he's unstoppable. Like there may not be any kind of consequence. And yes, although I am the last soldier standing for some forgotten war, I'm not here to fight for WCW. That would be ridiculous at this point. I'm here for one specific reason, and that is to take Triple H down. Here comes Triple. Here's someone who, I guarantee you, did not take that last statement lightly. Not only principal owner of WWE, but the wife of the aforementioned Triple H. Not to mention the daughter of Mr. McMahon. Those are chairman. Knows every trick in the book, right, John? Every trick in the book and a few that aren't in the book. I don't know if those things are the other half of the steps they make me. Just a thought of a different story right here.
So this is what it feels like to be in the ring with the Stinger, the last holdout from WCW. I mean, congratulations, Sting. Now you know what it feels like to make it to the big time. Here you are, standing in the middle of a WWE ring, opening Monday Night Raw with yours truly, Stephanie McMahon. Soak it all in, Sting. Just breathe.
You're also that spoiled little brat who's had everything handed over to her in this life and somehow believes that she earned it. But hey, it's nice to finally meet you, Steph.
Thank you. Thank you. I can understand and appreciate why you may be lashing out at me defensively. It's because you're intimidated. I mean, really, in WCW, you are this great big fish in a teeny tiny little pond. But here in WWE, you're like a minnow swimming in the ocean. But let me remind you of who I really am. I am the daughter of the man who single-handedly eviscerated your career when WWE defeated WCW in the Monday Night War. Now give the devil his due, Sting. You know, I admire your loyalty. You know, you never thought of leaving WCW. We never even got a phone call during that time. But you know, dogs are kind of loyal too. And sure, you can beat a dog up and they can do a lot of different tricks, but at the end of the day, dogs are kind of stupid. And I compare you to a dog, Sting, but I don't want to insult dogs. Let me remind you of something. WCW lost. You lost. You lost your dignity, you lost your integrity, you lost your pride. And this Sunday at WrestleMania, you're going to lose any ounce of respect these people have for you when my husband pins you in the middle of this ring. Face it, Sting, you're nothing more than a face-painted freak. I've got to say,
Stephanie attempted to slam Sting. Sting wasn't going to allow it to happen, and here comes Stephanie's husband. Here we go. Triple H, the game, on his way to the ring. You better be as good as you think you are, Sting. Welcome to the WWE. 6 nights away from their clash at WrestleMania. Let them say that. On his name and his face. If you're done all the time that you heard of, take me in blood. If he takes it in the ring, Here we go. Here we go. This doesn't end well. Trademark sledgehammer, the trademark back. Taking it back, a little balance. Triple H had no alternative but to back out. Rock, paper, scissors, baseball bat, sledgehammer. What's Triple H gonna do? Make a move. That's what Sting said right now. Make a move. Sting's ready. Triple H going to recruit time, but he's got nowhere to go on Sunday, guys. 6 nights away from Triple H versus Sting. I don't think so. Sting is trembling in his boots. And here we go, first lockup between Triple H and Sting, collar and elbow, and what's going to happen here? Side headlock now for Sting, and here we go. Triple H is down. Sting strikes first. A show of force for Sting. And now whose face shows a little intimidation. I'm to reassess things for Triple H. Next move's not reassessing. Game plan is still on track for Triple H. It's the game. Yes. Outside headlock for Triple H. Sting goes behind and again. Takedown by Triple H in control of Sting. Early part of the matchup. I sort of expected the pace to start out this way. Two guys, the greatest of all time, never faced each other before. It's back to basics. This is something. Oh. Triple H returns with a shoulder tackle on his arm. Finds chop from the game. And it's ship toss. And there's no Triple the icon. What? And the Triple H side, that coming. I gotta admit, Triple H might just be a little on this game to start. See what's trending. He'll get it back together. See what's trending. Somebody wants to Triple H. Of course it is. The AFL and the NFL sent their best representatives together to fight it out. They called it the Super Bowl. This could very well be our Super Bowl. The best of WCW versus the best of WWE. 14 years in the making. The way the more powerful force won in that first Super Bowl. Yeah, but by Super Bowl 3 and Broadway Joe John, things have even up. Critical moves in the NFL. This will change the course of WWE tonight. And Triple H and another one is Sting down. So much for the old school intimidation. There's Triple H, right hands in your face. This thing just boils down to a slugfest. I think I gotta go with Triple H. No. Triple H, look at this for me. Sting's got him down. You know what he's going for? Oh, and Triple H scoops out of the way. That's what you call a reset. It's a reset. I used that about 10 minutes ago. It's too early then. What we're seeing right now is the game reassessing the situation. Things so far has definitely not gone as expected for the game. What do you do here, JBL, when it's all of a sudden back to the drawing board? It's just a simple reset, that's all, King. I'm sure the game has a plan A, a plan B, C, D, E, and F. That's why it's the game. The cerebral assessment. You've opened it up now with the right hands, knees up, reversal, double reversal, and throw sit over the top line again inside the ring. I think it's totally to say this, but it's pretty done. It's like everything that Triple H has on his mind, Sting has a counter for him. And Sting, whoa, man. With a stinger splash, Triple H, one out of the way. Maybe got a little overconfident there, got a little too aggressive. Should stay in the ring. Right in the ribs, that'll take its toll. Stinger's got to stay finally. Stinger's got to stay. Triple H was lucky to be able to move out of the way. The last minute, Sting's right into the steps. And now we're in Triple H's realm. And now I'll say Steps got to stay. Yeah, because you don't really know what kind of condition Sting is really in until you start taking punishment. Look, he looks fine. He's got his makeup on great. This is where you find out if Sting is really Sting, and if Sting was really all that good to begin with. One good thing. That's why I said it. Sting was a great star, the greatest star out of a company full of stars. This is the WWE. This is WrestleMania. Triple H would Sting up over the vertical suplex. Triple H being able to do that. It's impressive. Now they knee right to the face of Sting, covered by Triple H. Kick out by Sting. You know, ever since Sting attempted to go for the Scorpion Deadlock a little bit earlier, and Triple H reassessed the situation, regrouped, it's been all game since then. Sting did everything he could. Now he's out of ammo. He's out of ammo. Oh. Way too early to be out of ammo. Sting. He's out of ammo. He's out of blues. He's almost out of time. Look, it's easy to make it the D-Leagues. It's when you get the NBA, it's a world difference. Again, ripped into the corner, and he's down and out early. And again, the ultimate humiliation for DX member, LCO in this company, 18-time WWE, 13-time WWE champion as Sting kicks out. And again, Triple H back in control. The temptation was too much for Sting. He had to come to WrestleMania. He had to find out what it was like to be here on the grandest stage of all. And now he wishes he hadn't come. As you mentioned earlier, John, you think it's Triple H stepped aside, walked Sting in. Now Triple H's opportunity to slay the last soldier of WCW, the company that tried to put his family out of business. McMahon family, back on the Monday Night Wars. And us out of jobs, by the way. I agree with you.